In the co-main event of the night, we have Joaquin Buckley, a St. Louis hometown favorite. He's the biggest thing coming out of St. Louis right now. And he is facing off against Nursulton Ruziboev, who is a up-and-coming fighter out of Uzbekistan with a lot of fights, some belts, and some other organizations. And this guy is looking pretty scary despite not being very well known. As a native of the Metro East area, not very far from St. Louis, I'd like to say that I lean toward Joaquin Buckley in this fight, and he definitely has good ability to win this fight via knockout. But I think that Ruziboev is very dangerous. I respect both men for taking this fight. Lord knows Joaquin was asking for a fight in St. Louis since it is his hometown, and he was willing to take anybody. And Ruziboev is a big question mark because he's only had a few fights in the UFC. Like I said, he has belts in other organizations, and he has a shitload of fights. He is very dangerous, and this is a pick'em at this point. Ranked number 11 at welterweight, Joaquin Buckley is currently 18-6 with 13 knockouts and 4 first-round finishes. He is a big, athletic, and strong power puncher. He utilizes a peekaboo boxing style with a lot of big footwork. He also has very athletic kicking techniques, can do spinning back kicks, jumping kicks, the whole nine, because he is an incredible athlete. As for his footwork, he oftentimes is using that kind of Tyson shift style, keeping the hands high while bouncing from side to side, using a lot of angles. He doesn't necessarily always try to stay on the inside like Mike Tyson. He will stay out of range until he is ready to engage, and when he does, he oftentimes will do a double jab to the inside where he can start landing a big right hand, start landing the hooks, which he has a lot of knockouts with. He also can land big kick techniques to the head for big knockouts, as well as we've seen in the past, with the biggest being his highlight reel spinning back kick knockout off of one leg. Coming into this fight, Joaquin Buckley is on a 3-fight win streak. He has been undefeated ever since he dropped to welterweight, and he is looking good. Nursulton Ruziboev is 34-8-2 with 2 no contests. That is 44 career fights already, with only 2 fights in the UFC. He has 12 knockouts, 20 submissions, and 25 first-round finishes. He has an over 92% finish rate, so he's a top-tier finisher, has a unmatched killer instinct, and he will get the job done if he can get the job done. He is a very high-level fighter in general. He has a very well-rounded game. He reminds me a lot of Shavkat Rakhmonov in that he is dangerous in every area of the fight. He has big, kind of long but somewhat looping punches with the boxing. Very powerful, very precise, very good timing. He's also very good with that rear uppercut whenever he's on the inside with guys, or sometimes even on the outside. He has very well-timed kicks and knees for one-shot knockouts as well. In addition, he is very good on the ground. He has very high-level grappling control, where he will oftentimes land relentless ground and pound or get a submission. Like I said, he has 20 submissions in his career, which is a lot. So this guy has a lot of ways to win this fight. He is undefeated in the UFC so far with 2 straight knockouts, and he is hungry. He is from a country, Uzbekistan, that nobody has heard of in the US for real. I don't believe we've ever had a fighter from Uzbekistan, at least not at this level, and he is looking like a very exciting prospect. This is his first fight at welterweight, and I can't wait to see what he does. Keys to victory in this fight: Joaquin Buckley really needs to use that footwork, stay on the outside, get those angles until he finds the openings that are there for him. Ruziboev has some questionable defense on his right side, so I believe that if Joaquin Buckley can stay on the outside and find those angles, he can find a left hand or a left high kick to possibly put Ruziboev out. On the other hand, Ruziboev also needs to stay long, but he needs to cut off Joaquin Buckley. Don't allow him to dance around him with that big footwork. Try to back him up against the fence with those long punches and kicks to the body. Look for the takedown. Find a dominant position so he can either start to pound him out and look for the TKO or look for the submission.